Hello, my name is Sheldon. Welcome back for another episode of Ep24 as Finland. In previous episode, we managed to, we made a small leap forward with GDP. We did manage to get the, we got the shift worker by tech spread. We're actually getting the pump jack next, which that's actually going to be very handy for the plantations that we have. We don't have a whole lot of them, but what little we have, we can increase the productivity of those, especially of rubber plantations, a little bit through there, so that could be handy. And we had some German power plants being built, which right now they don't really have a whole lot of demand. There's a tiny bit of pop consumption, which is that, yeah, there's not really that much. I could subsidize it. I don't know if that's a good idea, but we could subsidize it to get the power production going on. So it's currently, oh, it's an early power plant. Ah, right, so it's an early power plant, coal-fired power plant, and oil-fired power plant. So you don't get the hydropower plants anymore. We're also building up a bit of extra railways in our capital right now because the economy is, well, we did decide to just free up a whole lot of workforce from the logging camps again, which may prove to be useful. Is right now the transportation cost is pretty high, so I'm hoping that we can change that soon enough, and then that should then, oh, actually, how's the yeah, the infrastructure usage over here is still pretty high as well, but I'm guessing we haven't managed to get the port. Oh yeah, there's quite a bit of people there now. Where, well, where credit's due. So under industrialists or trade unions get boost. I'm going to boost the trade unions, actually. And actually, we're not even trying to push any laws for it right now. No, we're not going to go to the ethnic state. I don't think, no, Council Republic is not going to be an option. We'll stay in the Presidential Republic for the time being. It's good enough for us. We could try to go for the graduated taxation. The petty porters would hate that, though, so that would potentially cost us a bit of benefits from them. Also, the industrialists would hate that. That would also increase the amount of money that we'd be making. There's no, like, a proper opposition for it. So that's one option. And of course, we could try to go for the women's suffrage. Or we could try to go for the women in the workplace. That would increase the workforce ratio even further, although that would start hindering the birth rate. The rule folk would be opposed to that. There's, like, church doesn't actually oppose that anymore. They would oppose the women's suffrage, but they would not oppose the women in the workplace. I guess we'll go for that one next. Slowly but surely increase the amount of a workforce that we do actually have. So the market access is still, yeah, there's a bit of problems with that, I suppose, right now. And there's also still a decent demand for coal. We're actually building another coal mine somewhere. Oh, Wallonia. Ah, okay. Some more trade centers. I do actually wonder how many, so of our companies, who owns what? And how much do they actually own? It's probably easy if we go through the provinces. So, Nokia's got 42 levels. Food Corporation's got 116, and then we got 152 with the premium fabrics. Alright, that's a decent bit, I suppose. That's a decent bit. I mean, the corporations do get rather strong at times. Oh, we're going to establish a colonial administration, eh? I don't think we will. Not yet, at least, but we might eventually do that. Oh, we've got room for 4 more rubber plantations as well. Now, oh, actually, let's have a look at the rubber in general in our markets. Right now, sell orders 150. Oh, because we're buying quite a bit. And buy orders is 130. I'm going to go and switch the all the tooling workshops to utilize that now. That's going to be a whole lot of rubber demand. There's another 90 at least. Also quite a bit of steel. But it does also allow us to get a lot more tools, which makes construction a bit cheaper. Over time anyway. And I suppose that might actually make the rubber plantations a bit more profitable as well. Because there will be a lot more demand soon enough. So perhaps someone will build these. Extra plantations there. Now, we don't have any in... Yeah, no, we don't have any at the Niger Delta. Which is unfortunate, but understandable. I do actually wonder. So we got... no, we can't do too much in here to reduce the workforce. Unless, do we have a railway? No, we don't. But we could probably build one railway in here. You know what? Sure. That's going to probably increase the construction cost for us even further. But we'll build that. So we can then get some transportation in here to reduce the labour need for the various plantations, at least. And also probably the logging camp and things like that. I do actually wonder, would it be worthwhile to get the hardwood production? No, not really. We could get the steam donkey in here, I suppose. It's going to require a little bit of coal and engines, but that's not too bad. It does then reduce the amount of workforce needed total in here, which would then potentially free up some workforce for elsewhere. Oh, low progress study already. Wow, that was a lucky roll. 17%. There's 2% opposition for it right now with the animist rights movement, but that's about it. Oh, West Karelia is having low market access again. What's going on in here? Is the railway... It's not fully... I'm going to subsidize that again. I think I'm going to have to. And also, is there anything that we could do to perhaps reduce or utilize some of the transportation that is going to be available through there? Well, the iron mine's already using, the logging camp is already using it. We could probably go and put the steam donkeys over here to reduce the labor need for the logging camp itself. And then the fishing wharves don't use that. Animist right movement organized in Oulu. It must be concerned with far more crowded things. So we'll get maybe a bit more radicals from political movements, but it's not too bad. And universal political strength will increase. Although actually, yeah, no. Animist rights is not something that we need to worry about too much. So back around 60 million GDP. We have gone to 76% literature rate now, so we are within 1% from USA's literature rate, so that's good. Standard of living, we've drifted downwards quite a bit, which is not ideal. I mean, there's quite a high competition right now, I suppose. That's mostly it. And we got the extra railways down here, did we? Yes, we did. And there's another one being built, actually. And that's not being built by me. That's Sweden actually building it. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I mean, that does offer a lot of cheap transportation, which there is still some demand in here. And that should then reduce the... well, I suppose it won't reduce directly the need for workforce. But it will definitely help with it. Oh, there's 2 fertilizer plants being built. Oh. Is there a high demand in fertilizer on the world market? Not really. Oh, there we go. The Krakatoa eruption has closed finally. And there's the identification documents. We could get another Home Affairs institution level in here. Although right now I think we don't have a point to increase anything right now. We could perhaps go ahead and just get another administration building in here. It shouldn't cost too much. It should be fairly quick to build. And maybe we'll get lucky. But we're building the railway down in Niger Delta now. As well. We've got 4,770,000 something population. So we're actually in the top 40 in terms of population as well. Oh, prisons colonized Chad. They're pushing into... actually, hold on a minute. Oh, over there. Right. So into this state over here is where they're pushing in. Don't know how they got there, admittedly, from Tripoli, but I guess they did. Oh, they will. It looks like Italy is starting to unify everything. Opposition members, but 4th demands. After success, straight units would lose a bit of approval. We're taking -5. I think we're going to take the +10% in there. So that gets us to 26% chance, at least, to push forward with the law. Oh, war propaganda. There we go. Morale loss is reduced. Conscripted battalions. We don't have any conscript battalions, though. We could have, but we don't. Could admittedly increase it. Oh, hello. We got a bit of authority. You know what? Actually, at this point, what do we have using authority? First of all, I'm going to go and increase the government wages a little bit, so we've got a bit of leeway in case popularity shifts back and forth. But then, we're going to go ahead and remove one of the... we could actually remove one of the taxes now that I think of it. I guess we'll remove the liquor tax. Is there any... oh, the tobacco tax would be astronomical. And then we're going to go ahead and bolster the liberal movement. Ah, no, we don't have legal capacity to do that. Never mind. Well, I guess we won't be supporting the movements then. And we can't bolster the interest groups directly in it either. Well, in that case, we could probably put the tax back, actually. Or the luxury furniture tax in. And then we could put the porcelain tax. Or we could put in another decree, actually. We don't have one in here, do we? No. We do still have a lot of industries, don't we? Well, not a huge amount, actually. What about the northern Finland? We've got a bit of mines. So this one, we've got the resource thing still. You know what? We need so much workforce in West Karelia right now. I'm going to put in the Kruna Kras campaign in there. So maybe we can start getting some population actually moving in there from elsewhere. Like, the capital's already growing quickly enough anyway. It's almost 3 million now. So I don't think we need to necessarily boost that any further. It's actually getting some more migration from... mostly from other areas, mind you. But is this one getting any yet? No. It is eligible for mass migration, at least. Well, there we go. Oh, there's actually a little bit of people moving away from here now. Well, there is a lot of peasants actually available. Oh, if there's a lot of peasants, I'm going to go and build some more rye... Oh, there's a whole lot of rye farms being built. My goodness, foreign quarters, there's just rye farms everywhere. The Danes, the Swedes, the Dutch. Oh, and there's the Germans building the fertilizer plants. And a steel mill as well. An explosive factory. Right, right. Is the private sector building any rye farms by chance? No, it isn't. They're building a synthetic plant, though. But hey, if we've got this much peasants right now... I suppose, is that because the buildings are closing or something? I mean, it might be partially because of that. Oh yeah, the trade centers don't have a whole lot of workforce right now, so the trade is suffering because of it. Also, the ports don't have full capacity in use right now either. So, is West Karelia getting a lot of population now? It's getting some. Mostly from the capital, actually. You know what? Oh yeah, it's got very high attraction, actually. Ah, that's right. So the migration targets. To be eligible for mass migration, the state needs to be incorporated, have at least 20 arable land, and 70% market access. Additionally, the state can already be target of different mass migration. The country's migration and citizenship laws need to allow migration to happen. Okay, so it's there's a possibility that we'll get some people moving in. It's not a guarantee, mind you. Of course, once we get the women in the workplace, perhaps... Actually, when's the next election? That's going to be in, like, 1700s, I guess. Not 1900s. Yeah, it's next year. So the election season should actually start in a month or two, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, there we are. Right, looks like the Finnish party still got about 50% of votes. Projected, at least. But we're going to try to support the other two parties a bit further. Maybe eventually we'll get one or the other in there. Crooked connections. Church of Finland would lose a bit of support. So I'm going to take the national time reduction in there, so perhaps we're going to actually get this law passed. Well, it's not going to get passed before the election, let's be honest, but we might get a little bit of progress in there at least. And we've got 4.8 million in population, so we didn't quite get to the 5 million, but we are really close, like within 1905, or before 1905, well actually it's probably like 1902 when we reach 5 million population already, which is a bit faster than historically, but you know, I suppose we've got a bit of population down here in Africa, and we hadn't had quite as much famine, necessarily. A radical expansion. The others National Protest Party have been raising interest throughout the country, leading to political turmoil. Okay, so that would be more momentum, a bit more radical, but actually that might be beneficial for us in the long run. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we've got still plenty of money. Oh, right, actually, we're not building anything currently. We could probably do something. So many foreign coups. There's a whole lot of railways and rye farms being built by the foreigners, though. That's just insane. Okay, let's have a look at the market then. What are we missing right now? Looks like a whole lot of tools. Okay, are we building any tooling workshops, or did we used to have a whole lot of tooling workshops? But they're not, oh, they're not fully hiring right now. Okay, there's a lot of unemployment actually going on in the capital. But there's also going to be a whole lot of rye farms. Yeah, there's a lot of rye farms that have been built recently. Oh, there's a drought going on. Well, that's not good. Yeah, the throughput is slowly improving. The economy scale does go up quite a bit. Although some of the levels are nationally owned. Not by our nation, but by others, I guess. We've still got the 16.4 million GDP, so we're still around the top 30, but just barely. And then literary... Oh, we must have surpassed... Yes, we've surpassed the Americans, just about. Bird of a feather. Let's see, so that's... agitator, supporting the petty bourgeoisie. And then there's a politician from the Church of Finland. Okay, I guess we'll give it a little bit of support. The clergy will get a bit more powerful, but the clergy doesn't support just the Church of Finland. They do support other groups as well. But yeah, now it's 51% vote for the Finnish party. So it's not going quite as intended, but let's take a quick look at the world in the meanwhile. So, yeah, the border between USA and Mexico hasn't changed for a while. There's North Peru, South Peru, and Peru-Bolivia, Paraguay, and... Oh, Guarani, right over here. Argentina is still trying to colonize parts, but I guess Chile has got the southern half over there. Or Patagonia in there, so that's not exactly ideal. Britain is colonizing a whole... Oh, there we go, low progress to voting. Still fairly low chances in there, but I suppose if we can still pass the law, that'd be nice. There's a good chance of debate still. But there's also, like, potential for some good events in there. 16.8 million GDP. Building a whole lot of motor industries in other nations, mind you. Yeah, we're only building, like, 3 buildings in our own nation right now by the private sector. Of course, there's a whole lot of other nations that are building plenty of stuff in our nation. Although some of it maybe not all that quickly yet. Oh, we're actually having some issues with the shipyards then, are we? I guess we are. All enthusiastic partisans. We'll crack down on the Finnish party activities to reduce the momentum. So how's the... they're still going to get over half of those, though. At least the Labour Party's got about a quarter of the votes. That's not quite sufficient. Oh, the fabric is pretty expensive right now. Oh, and right, because of the trade has died down a little bit. That's causing us issues. Are we getting the rubber plantations yet? No. Perhaps go ahead and give that a bit of a boost. We'll just build one for the time being. We'll increase that maybe later on, but so we don't have a whole lot of workforce available in here. Although the colony is now spreading a little bit faster. It still takes a whole lot of time. But it is not as bad. I suppose once we get the malaria prevention, it's going to get easier, but that might still take a while. Especially since we're not researching that directly. Now, the wargaming is currently... Oh, actually, why is spreading? Oh, it's a concrete dry docks. Or dockyard, sorry, not dry docks. Dockyard, so that's going to get the modern ports, and that's going to require oil, though. It's going to be a bit of a tricky one. Pump jacks. I suppose that does unlock the oil rigs. We probably won't be able to find any oil, though, is the problem. I don't know, maybe at Congo, now that I think of it. Oh, debate success, there we go. So 36% now. There's also discoverable resource in Niger Delta, so maybe we can actually get a little bit oil. Might not be a whole lot, though. The railway over here, we're going to go ahead and subsidize that. I'm going to go ahead and just put in all these plantations with rail transportation. That frees up a bit of workforce. And then some of those can maybe help some other buildings as well. We'll see. I mean, the transportation... Oh, there we go, the election done. So, Finnish party got 51.5% of the votes. Let's see, can we... No, let me just double check. If we were to switch to... Oh, illegitimate government, never mind. What if we go for National Progressive Party alone? I think this is still the best chance that we have. I mean, let's double check this. And that would be 29%. Still pretty bad. But that might allow us to start passing some of the more progressive laws. You know what? I'm going to take that hit on the legitimacy, and we are going to try to pass the laws. There's still 20% chance of passing the women in the workplace law, which might not now go through anymore. We'll see how it goes. I mean, we don't have any setbacks yet or anything like that, so that could still be worthwhile. Oh, we've got 17.1 million in GDP now, so that's definitely slowly increasing. I'm hoping that we can reach at least like 30 to 40 million by the end of the game, or end of the playthrough. But we shall see. I mean, we might not go all the way to 1936, though. We'll kind of go by ear, or, you know, the feeling at that point. How's the sulfur mines looking like in here? They're looking pretty decent. Actually, I'm going to get the steam bunkers over there. Making a massive amount of money, actually. There's the railway that is still providing some... oh, they're not... Right, let's put the proper transportation production in there. That way, we're going to actually get the transportation needed to actually run the mines there. Which we are mostly using that for. Railroad boom. Oh. East Karelia. Motor industries in Oulu. Or steel... Oh, I'm actually going to get the steel railway cars a bit forward. Because that would be very, very handy. Now, I suppose after the pump check, there's a good chance that it will spread that. Or is the open heart process. Or electrical generation. Any one of these three is actually pretty good. Not that the pump tracks aren't good either, but any one of those three would be preferable. I'm also going to go ahead and build another 2 universities. Get us to 10 over here in our capital. Sure, it's going to cost us a little bit of money, but that is also going to give us a bit more innovation, which should allow us to get towards the tank production, or the mobile armor production, a little bit sooner than, well, otherwise it would be. It might not save us a whole lot of months, actually, but I suppose since it's built in the same location, it's going to get a little bit more of the economy of scale boost there. Now, how is the population of West Karelia looking like? Is that still... It's over 400,000. It's getting a lot of migration, actually. Admittedly, most of that is coming from our capital. Yeah, the population over here, it is still growing. Just not a whole lot, necessarily. And yeah, we're still having some issues in here. There's 33,000 unemployed. Oh, we've got all the farms built up now. Okay. I mean, there is plenty of jobs available, right? There's a decent bit, I would say. But a lot of these might not be profitable if everything's built up. But yeah, I suppose at this point in our capital, it's only going to be the... I'm going to subsidize the power plant briefly. Because I want to get the power production going. Because that's going to then perhaps reduce the amount of... Actually, I do wonder. So that's 5 coal for 25 electricity. Now, if I remember, electricity... That is used as a top need for heating needs. And for heating, electricity is about the same as coal. So it's basically reducing... Oh, debate success. There we go. 30% chance now. So it's basically going to be saving us a bit of coal at the cost of some engines and things like that. But that is going to allow us to reduce the coal demand in total. So as soon as it starts actually producing enough to start offsetting the demand for the coal, then after that it's going to be actually pretty decent. And I'm sure that once the production starts picking up some steam, so to speak, then the demand is going to start also picking up a lot of interest in there, and that way we can get a pretty good amount of production out of this. They're still having some issues in the production though. Well, I guess it's... Yeah, I mean, the demand is now better. There's nearly 1 point in here of demand. Oh, demand went down again. Well, bollocks. The production's at least decent. We unfortunately do not have any other users than the heating right now for the electricity. Although eventually we'll get the electric street lights, I reckon. That's going to give us a lot of services. Although service price is pretty low, actually. Right, so currently... Oh, it's going to be taking up until November for the next roll for the women in the workplace. But after that, we should be able to start perhaps pushing for the... Let's actually have a look. Intelligence, it does support the cultural exclusion. Multiculturalism, that would be a bit too radical, perhaps. We could perhaps first go with the racial segregation. That might give us just enough support. I mean, it's... Yeah, well, actually, it's going to be like 30... Well, 12% to begin with. Yeah, because that's from the checkpoints. Although, maybe... Some of the other movements will strong-arm the troops. So, yeah, if we can start reducing the... Or making the citizenship laws a bit more relaxed, we can then get a bit more people moving from other corners of the world, because our nation is not bad as such. Like, there is decent standard of living and all that. Literary rate is now actually number 6. Oh, right. Well, I suppose, yeah, we've been number 6 for a little while. We've got a 1% advantage over USA already. And we do have about 1.5% to catch up with Germany. So that's still going to take a while, of course. For the GDP, we're still hovering around 30. Ooh, oil discovery in Congo. Oh. Alright, then, we'll go with caution. So, can we... No, we can't build the oil rigs yet. Because we haven't invented the pump tracks. But I guess... oh, it's probably the Dutch that have. Or maybe not. There's not going to be a whole lot of oil rigs in there that we can build. Oh, right, it's spreading from... Right, okay. We're about to get another corner in here, though, so maybe... Oh, no, not yet. We could build a fishing wharf, though. That could prove to be handy. And the population in Finnish Congo is slowly increasing, at least, so that's good. Oh, it takes about 2 years. Oh, aggressive coordination. Okay, so that is even less cost for the... Yeah, workshops from casualties and the war goal maneuver cost is reduced still, so it's another 5 years for the next one. Alright then, let me double check. I'm pretty sure that the Scandinavia is not going to happen. Because I can't really... Yeah, I suppose Sweden, would you be... You're not willing to support us. What about Denmark? Nope, that's also not willing to participate in there. I mean, we could probably increase our military size a little bit to maybe strong arm them, but I'm not really going to bother with the Scandinavia. That wasn't part of the original plan. So if it had happened, it would have been fun, but it would not have been that much needed necessarily. Getting some more... Oh, right, here. Corporations are getting stronger. So how much do we have in the Ah, the Food Corporation's got 128 levels now. Nokia's got 46, and the Premium Fabric's got 147. So that is a lot. Oh, sure, we can pay a little bit. There's now 40% chance of passing the law. Of course, it still takes a while to... Yeah, it takes over 100 days for these rolls right now. I suppose at least the legitimacy is not completely terrible. I mean, I suppose one thing that we could do temporarily is reduce the taxes. Get the legitimacy up a little bit further. It might not get us to the next tier yet, but gives a bit more leeway at least. Also reducing the standard of living minimum, so that is actually kind of handy. France is having a bit of war against air. Ah, right, colonization rights. They have colonized a lot of it already, mind you. So they're going to try to get into the inland here, I guess. We're going to have up to 8 rubber plantations already in Congo. We're going to... Yeah, we're going to fund the music. That's alright. Bit more prestige. We're now number 25. Problem is that we need more than double our prestige to actually get to become a great power. So that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. We could, of course, increase the military size a little bit to at least facilitate some of it. I'm going to stop the Greener Grass campaign in West Australia. It got a decent bit of population, but I don't want to starve our capital state either. Because that was probably what was mostly happening in there. Like, these people were moving elsewhere. Well, we do have 3 million population in here now, which is not massive. It's about 60% of our total population, and now there's a whole lot of people moving in from, well, everywhere, really. Right, is the foreign accused? There's a... Oh, there's a whole lot of glassworks being built in our nation. Alright, then. I mean, suppose if they are worthwhile, well, they do have a decent profitability. I suppose since we've got the lead being produced in here, so it does make them somewhat profitable indeed. And then, of course, that provides a lot of porcelain and a bit of glass as well that is used for... Actually, we don't use the glass for construction yet, do we? No, not yet. We haven't unlocked the steel frame building. Oh, that's another thing, of course, in the society, isn't it? Yeah, there's the steel frame buildings, so... Yeah, anarchism, then the steel frame buildings, and then it's gonna be the tier 4 text over there. In production... Ooh, pump tracks are almost done. Which does mean that we could, in theory... get some oil up here. Is there still room for more discoveries? There is still potential more discoveries of oil in the Congo. That might prove to be handy. Oh, we've got 19 million GDP suddenly. That is increasing rather rapidly. Not entirely sure what is causing it, but I'm not going to complain. Maybe it's the people moving back into our capital that is helping with it. There's a whole lot more somewhat cheap labor coming in. And the tooling workshops, those are making a whole lot of profit. There's a lot of demand for rubber right now. Oh, yeah, the rubber demand is starting to balloon a little bit, let's just say. Oh, he did join the Sovereign. Oh, there's the pump tracks. There we go. Oil discovered in Congo. Hey, we could actually have a oil rig over here. Well, let's go. Do we have rail transportation actually? Well, do we have rails in here in general? No, we don't. We could actually get a railway built in Congo as well, so we can use that in the plantations at least, reduce the workforce needed there. And then the rubber plantation, I'm going to just put the automatic irrigation. That's going to give us a whole lot more rubber. And then the oil rig... Oh, hey, there we go, women in the workplace. Ah, right, now they're building a whole lot. It's starting to be a bit expensive again. And the government, of course, being unacceptable. Let's see, could we try to go for the... racial segregation? Petty portrait would not like that. But that would at least go from, let's see, so heritage and cultural traits, heritage and culture in that order. So 60, 40, and 20 to 70, 50, 30, and 10. So everyone's going to have at least 10, I guess, unless there's some events factoring in there. So we're going to try to pass the racial segregation, and then we can slowly start pushing for a bit more liberal variations in there anyway. I'm going to have to increase the taxes back a little bit, because we're running a bit of a deficit. We could actually go and put in, also with porcelain tax, for another 3,000. We've got a little bit of construction work going on, which admittedly is going to take a while in the Congo. Actually, I'm going to remove that tax, actually. What we're going to do is we'll put in the road maintenance in here to speed up the construction work. There we go, so that does cut down the time required a little bit. We don't have any urban centers in here, so the services are pretty limited. We don't have transportation here yet. The railway is probably going to be worthwhile. I do wonder if there's more people going to be moving in here soon enough. Maybe not yet. No, the attraction isn't too high yet. Oh, okay, what was this? Quarry declaration. I don't remember, actually. There's the Helmholtz Agreement for... Oh, right, that was the... Oh, the Dutch joined the British Empire. And the open heart process is now spreading to us. Wait, so what was the thing that we got? Right, it was the pump tracks. I remember now. That reminds me. Let's go ahead and... Especially down here. Start with you... Yeah, we'll go ahead and fit in the automated irrigation. That's going to be rather valuable, I reckon. Well, the dye's not as much necessarily because we've got a lot of synthetic plants as well. But many of the other things are starting to be quite valuable now. It might increase the demand for... Oh, that was the coal that we got from the French, I think. Well, among other things. Well, we're going to start increasing the imports, I reckon. I mean, right now, at least, I guess the coal imports are going to be making a lot of money. Yeah, that's a lot of revenue from it. Import price is a little bit unfortunate, though. Actually, only importing 53 right now. But imagine that there would be more. Oh, there's not a whole lot of workforce in here. Well, that might explain it then. Maybe, well, they are hiring now some more. But actually importing the tobacco even further. Right, actually, we can also go ahead and utilize the pump tracks down here in the Congo for the cotton plantation. And also the dye plantation. We have yet to build the, well, neither the oil rig nor the other options. But how's the oil rig? So that one's going to be, presumably, 60 oil that we'll be getting from that. I mean, that's not too bad. We'll definitely have some uses for it. But I don't know if it's going to be all that useful immediately. I'm sure that there's, like, it's going to offset some of the coal cost, for example. Could potentially put on the bolt action rifles in here. After that, I mean, maybe. I'll have to consider that. We're losing quite a bit of money right now, but I suppose once the construction work is done, that should be fine. But I do see that we are actually out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like and share if you haven't already. Also got the links down in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.